What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Podcast. Be back in 30 seconds. What is good, Council of Comics? Thank you for joining us on the Film and Box Office News Podcast, episode number 35. We're doing Hero and Jet Li, and here's the song that didn't make the soundtrack.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero.
This song would be way out of place.
What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 35, where we go over the weekend's box office, film news, and a special movie that we watch every week. And this week is Hero with Jet Li and Donnie Yang. What's good, everybody? Thank you for watching. First, before I introduce the lovely Council, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, jump on over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Look for the 500 subscriber video. The contest is going on right now. Find that video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, like the video, and you will be eligible to win one of three great prizes. One prize is a Hero in Crisis 1 through 9 set. The second prize is a head design by Green Shirt Guy himself, aka Ronaldo. And the number one prize is a CGC 9.8 rated comic. So get over there and get yourself entered. As far as who I have with me, it's always the loyal council. What's good? We got Cliff, Phil, and Green Shirt Guy. How you guys doing today?
Up. I just looked. We're at 461.
461. Empire Comics in the house. Hey, I made it just in time. Yes, you did. What up, my friend?
We didn't see Angel yesterday.
No. He got out of work late. So you know.
He just probably couldn't find a place to park.
He got out like 8 o'clock and ended around 5. So, but he still found, I saw on his Instagram, he still found some comics. So good job out there.
Right on.
All right. We got a lot to discuss. So let's get right into it.
I love when you say we got a lot to discuss, and I'm like, what even happened this week? Like, I'm like, Guardians.
This is why I do the pregame show notes. There's a lot to discuss here. You'll see. All right. First up. Oh, that's for later. Sorry, that's for later. Movie news. Avengers Endgame director still dragging Tom Holland for revealing spoilers 4 years later in new TikTok.
Don't even care.
Don't even care, right?
Don't even care.
This is your top thing. This thing is your top thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, this is no news. This is not news. Like,
Barely knows when it happened.
Yeah, like when it happened, I know it was kind of news when it happened because I was like, oh, Tom, what did you do? But like, you know.
Yeah, but he was known to do that, and so was Ruffalo.
I know, dude, but he opened the package on a live stream and realized, you know, how it all went down. Like, you know, and of course a lot of people want to think like it's staged, but then when you see when they do the when they did the publicity tour, they always paired him with somebody to keep him shut, you know? So like I was like, all right, maybe there's more, there's legitimacy to this.
Silly. Let's move on. The Little Mermaid remakes first clip reveals iconic Ariel scene in live action. Are you guys excited for this movie?
I am going to see it.
Yeah.
Mostly for her and for Ursula. But yeah, I don't care enough that you need to click on it. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what I think is great? if you look at my Instagram story, I posted where someone was in the theater and the Little Mermaid trailer was running simultaneously with the Transformers trailer, right? And everyone in the audience is like, "Oh, this looks like the best movie ever." I'm more interested in that than I am in this.
Let's see here. Pause in between. Buffering. There's what's his face?
Yep, Flounder.
What's the Flounder? Yeah.
Yep.
We got some lag issues here. All right. We're now. I mean, it looks good, man.
It does look good. I'm
You
glad
know?
it looks good.
We'll see. The live action stuff has been dragging a little bit lately. I'm kind of missing the animation stuff. You know what I mean? I missed the 2D animation.
Yeah, I missed them trying. I missed them actually trying because ever since they started doing this, you've noticed they haven't been trying so hard with animation. And also, they invested a lot of money into Pixar. So, you know, why would you want to work on 2D stuff when you invest a lot of money into your 3D thing studio?
Yeah. So I guess the big news right now is this writer strike that's going on. It's supposed to take place on Monday.
I think it's been going on.
It's already been going on.
But I think it's officially kicking in on Monday. Stranger Things has delayed filming the next season because of the writer's strike, and a lot of numerous productions have stopped. I guess the big problem is that the writers aren't getting paid. There's basically writers that are living off of minimum wage money to write these things, while executives are pulling in huge bonuses, and they don't want to budge on giving more money.
3%.
Yeah, and so the writers are going to strike, as they should. You know what I mean? Like, these executives are making, I don't have a problem with you making money, but when you start looking down the ladder and those people who are actually making your thing come to life, and you're not giving them the proper amount of respect and money while you're making like thousands of times more, I can't respect that. I can't.
I hear that, and far be it from me to argue the other way, especially since I'm usually the grunt as opposed to the admin, if you will. But if you agree to a contract, why do I feel bad for you that you're getting paid with what you feel is pittance? Don't sign the contract.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't this like also contract negotiation season? Like, isn't it all coming to a head?
If that's the case,
yeah,
kudos to those guys. But if you negotiated a contract and then halfway through it you think it's a shitty contract, that's on you. You should have looked at that beforehand. That's not my fault.
Okay, but also I'm going to counter argue with you, because this isn't like a person getting upset. This is an entire unionized field of people saying, regardless of whatever's going on, we are fed up.
I again, I'm just counterpointing.
I'm just saying, we have morals. We live in a world of garbage, okay? Everything's garbage, so don't even get me started, all right? So, in the midst of this hellhole we call living, right?
Oh,
that's a gift, right? You have ethical conflict, moral conflict, and everything in between, right? And really, I just am too exhausted. I don't got time for the ethical conflict. The moral conflict here is these people are fed up. They're not making money. I don't give a shit about contracts or whatever. Good for you. Get together, unionize, get your 3 measly % that you're looking for, okay? And screw all you multi-billionaires, who are hoarding so much that a 3% raise is inconceivable.
I'm 99% of the time am the person that would be the one striking. If it's so bad, Why did you sign the contract? Like, I get.
I don't know, but do you know who loves a good contract? Satan.
Say it.
If you want to
That escalated pretty quick.
That's ridiculous. You know it.
Wow.
I got it. You know what
I hear both sides.
Even Satan, as much as you hate him, would be like, look, this is the contract. And you can find a loophole in it, I lose.
All right, here's my little side third-party argument to that. Sometimes when you deal with stuff like that Satan stuff, like, yeah, the contract's in front of you, but it's either take this contract or family starves. You know what I mean? Like, or this and that.
I hear that, but that, again, that's a choice you made.
But then can you fault them, though?
You're playing devil's advocate is hilarious. But also, like, I'm tired. And it's exhausting. And the rich keep getting
talking
richer.
About a group of individuals.
But contracts are garbage. Everything is garbage. You know? It's like my word has to be good. My word has to be good.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, great sugar.
I'm saying is, you don't even make me lose my train of thought. What I'm saying is, we're arguing for a group of people in an industry that plays make believe for a living, right? These are all people who are living in a privileged industry that gets to play make believe, and I understand we want it to be equal, but come on.
I mean, but certain
you
parts.
Have not met some of these people. Clearly, you have not met people who work on these shows. They are not living a privileged life.
Yeah,
all right.
They're living a privileged life because they get to do that job. Show me another person who gets.
That's a hard line right there.
Do those hours and gets paid the amount of money that they get paid.
But a lot of them don't get paid a lot of money.
There's nobody on this planet that wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
a lot of them don't get paid.
Pittance compared to what they get paid, and I'm not bitching. Because I get paid a pittance.
The numbers don't show that though. A lot of them don't get paid a lot of money. We think they get paid a lot of money, but they really don't.
And we're
like, they'll get a big check for say 10,000, 15,000, but that's not a check that's coming every week. That's a one-shot check that's got to last them 5-6 months.
So let me ask you this one then. If we're being even here. So, do you get checks randomly in the mail for that time that you told a student not to run in the hallway 3 years ago?
No.
Actors can get
Actors
that.
and directors.
Writers do not get that.
Get these residual checks all the time.
That was another thing. Okay, hold on. I got to bring up that other point. The residuals is also a problem because now streaming is taking over and these people are not getting residuals anymore. Due to the fact that, people would buy a movie and they would get a percentage of that movie. But now it's from a streaming site. So they're not buying
the movie.
Yeah, they're not buying the movie. So they're not getting residuals anymore. So that's also in these talks.
I can be behind that. That I think is fair.
Yeah.
Because again, if we're living real life and you and I and whatever the people in this room are in this industry, we're more than likely going to be the creators, not the execs, right? So if we worked for a comic book company, and we're Sam's a writer, Cliff's a colorist, I'm the penciler, and Phil's the inker. Anytime that comic gets sold in a new medium, the only person getting paid is Sam because he's the writer. As a penciler, I don't see another penny.
Why is that though?
I have no idea. But I know routinely when they sell it, like it not a new medium, but like if they do a collected works, occasionally the rest of the team will get paid a little bit, but usually it's just the writer gets something, and it's not even usually that much.
Clearly not that much, as we learn during the Falcon Winter Soldier miniseries.
Yeah.
Where he got, who's the writer from the comic?
Brubaker,
yeah.
Yeah, where Brubaker got $5,000 to do a cameo in one of the episodes, and that was way more than any royalties he received
Yes.
from the story he wrote that the series is based
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Right.
So all this to say, I mean, like, it looks great that it seems like they get these cool, extravagant checks or whatever, but it's far more circumstantial than that. And not everyone gets granted the same opportunities across the board. So, like, have the strike, settle it with them. You know, these people are, the entertainment industry is definitely making more money than it has in decades. All right. So, like, come on.
Yeah, there's
Like-
they have no excuse for not paying these people. Okay, I get it. That's how it was before. But now they're about to strike. Let's sit down and let's discuss this. Because you have more money than you can count, like Cliff says. You have way more than enough to pay these people. One of the execs just got a bonus check that would pay for everything they're asking for just recently. Just one of the execs got that bonus check. And it's just a little ridiculous. And it kind of goes for all these companies as well. When you know you're in the billions in profit, not like this is profit. This is leftover money. And a thought doesn't come to your mind. Let me take care of the people that have gotten me here. Because the big thing that's getting me upset is that these execs, yeah, they're the execs, but they do no physical really work. They sit at a desk, they talk, they have conversations, they make decisions, and they're getting billions to do this. But meanwhile, somebody who's in his house typing for months every day for 8 hours is seeing pennies. And that just really irks me. And something has to be done about it. That's my say on that. You guys got any other last? Phil, what do you got to say about this writer strike?
No, it's been like they happen. They come around. Like the last one was what, like 2007 or so was the last writer strike.
Yep.
So yeah, they just come around. It's like one of those things they don't want to like update it with the time until they have to update with the time.
Right. They'll only do it if forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's an odd time to have a strike anyway, because a lot of, I mean, not that traditional television really moves the needle, we would say, but we're talking about, in many cases where shows have just done their season finales.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not arguing, you're not negotiating from a point of power, really, because everything's done. So we don't care. You can sit. We'll just run reruns.
Yeah, and then the new thing I heard is that they're so far gone that they don't want to pay these people, that foreign companies are now saying that these studios are going to them for scripts. They'd rather go to another country across the world than pay these people.
Oh my goodness, that's unheard of. That's never happened
crazy.
before.
That doesn't happen in any
capitalism.
industry.
I know, but it's just like Green Shirt Guy's right. It happens in all the industries, but it just blows my mind how these people don't care about paying people living wages. Not even
have
legal
they
wages.
ever. Nor have they ever. And so when I sit here and go, everything is garbage, this is why. Because you know what, Sam? Nothing changed since we were in high school. Nothing changed.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, we talked about these things then in whatever civics class we had. We would go, oh my goodness, that's awful. Why hasn't anyone done anything? And now we sit here and we're adults going, wow, isn't it great how nobody's done anything?
Yeah, and it partially falls on us as well because we give them the money for these things. You know what I mean? We pay for the movies, we pay for the streaming, we pay for the comics, we pay for all this. At the end of the day, we hand over our money. So they're willing to wait it out because they know that we're a society now that lives off of entertainment. And we need to be entertained, and they can wait. They can wait us out. Will we ever have
they
a real?
Can't wait us out entirely, right? Because that's
We'll
why
see.
they're already going.
Yeah, we'll see.
To foreign places.
We'll see how it goes. History always has its changes. All right, so that is the news. I like to break this up into segments now. That's the news. Next thing I want to talk about. All right, so on this next segment, I'm pretty sure all you guys have seen this movie. I have not seen this movie.
The
So,
Guardians.
yes.
I haven't seen
I'm gonna go
Guardians.
see it
either.
tomorrow.
All right.
You haven't seen it, Green Shirt Guy?
No, I saw it. I'm going to see it for a second.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
So this is probably going to be mostly
We
a
saw it on
Cliff and
Friday.
Green
We
Shirt
saw-
Guy
I talked
thing.
to you yesterday.
But this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. But whenever you get into some spoiling, I feel like you're spoiling. I'm like, rah, 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 rah. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh, I hate to disappoint you. I'm not talking about it.
Don't, you can give your idea about
No,
it.
the movie's great. I loved it. Go see it.
No,
That's
it's
it.
not.
That's all I gotta
Everything's
tell you.
garbage.
Everything I want
This
to
is
talk
film
about
and
the
box
movie,
office news.
everything
We're
I want
supposed to talk
is a
about
spoiler.
stuff.
Everything I want to talk about is a spoiler.
Everything's garbage.
All right, so we're going to pull this up.
Everything's
Except
garbage.
This movie. This movie's not garbage.
Hold on. Sorry, council guys out there. I know you want us to talk about it, but Cliff doesn't want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But no
We
spoilers.
can talk about that. Nobody bought my Guardians print, and I still have 10 of them.
Oh, put me down for one. I was so busy yesterday. I'll get one.
I'll bring one on Tuesday.
So, Green Shirt Guy, let's start off with you since Cliff is meh. What'd you think of this movie?
I liked it. I thought it was good. A couple people that I talked to, they're lauding it as like Marvel is really kind of redeemed themselves after some flops. I'm like, I don't think the last ones were really flops. It's emotional. I will say that. What can I say that's not spoilery? Yeah, it gives every character their own story while also giving you, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you have to see it. Like, it has its own thrust, but every character gets their own ending, their own arc.
It brings everything. All their character arcs get a satisfying conclusion.
Yes, and if and when they want to use somebody in the future, it looks likely that they could use them again.
Okay. Cliff?
Yep.
Yeah, give me a little bit here. A little bit.
It looks good.
It looks good. It sounds good. It's emotional. Everybody gets some completion to their arc. The focus mostly on Rocket. And
does it move the MCU forward?
No.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
Here we go. Let's
All right, that was a good question.
No, there's nothing here about. Sure, in the grand extra sense, like, oh, look at these new toys that we get to play with in the future. Yes. Like, do I need this story moving forward for any reason at this moment in time? No, it is what it is by itself.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, much like the second one didn't move the Infinity Gauntlet story really forward at all. This one is more. The characters from this story centric, but like Cliff's right. There are more toys on the carpet now.
Okay.
My one drawback, if I have one complaint, and it's a nitpick complaint, is I was expecting a lot of 80s music, and there's not that much.
Oh, so he doesn't keep that same.
There's music in it, and the soundtrack's great, but it's a little more disjointed with as far as era goes. So yeah, and I mean, Cliff and Phil, correct me if I'm wrong. The last major song, I never heard that song before in my life.
Okay, I have heard that song, and that song is from the 2000s.
Right. I know that based on, without giving it a spoiler.
I don't feel like early 2000s is beloved by too many people at all, honestly.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yes and no.
Well,
I would say 2001,
it's early 2000s pop rock. Therefore, like, I don't know how many people are really going to respond to that. At least at this moment. I'm sure as we age up, we'll see a generation that appreciates music from that specific era. I want you to know, I like this movie more with every passing day. I saw it Thursday night. We're on Sunday. I'm still thinking about it. I'm even thinking about seeing it a second time. This movie might even be a 9 for me.
Quick questions. Adam Warlock, Coulter,
Mhm.
how'd he do? Give me a range on his
He
performance.
did great, but if you want comic accurate Adam Warlock, go away.
Well,
Mm.
there's that too, but they don't. He gets introduced as a cutscene at the end of 2, right?
Yep.
But you get nothing as far as
How
who
he
he
became.
is,
Yeah.
why he's there, really, why
Is
he's
this-
got the thing in his forehead, like none of
Hmm.
that.
Okay. How about Chris Pratt's performance?
Great.
He's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing he's pretty
He's
good.
great.
In it.
Drax, I can't remember his name. He's Batista's great in it, too.
Bautista.
He's really good in it.
Yeah.
And actually, Nebula's great too. I mean, everyone kind of scores on their own because they all.
No,
have
they
their own
all.
stories.
I was gonna say, there's no disappointments. Everyone delivered on their characters,
Excellent. Excellent.
and we got a great villain.
Yeah. Give me a little something about the High Evolutionary compared to all the other villains.
He's completely unstable and powerful, and that's the right kind of villain you want to be worried about.
Is he comic book accurate?
No,
Yeah, I don't remember. I
But
don't
he's
really
great.
remember the comics, but-
Okay.
now I was gonna say, not to mention, like Adam Warlock and the High Evolutionary, like real talk, they're really esoteric characters, right? So I feel like that's why they felt great liberty to do whatever they wanted with them here, and it's fine. It's very good. I'm fine with what I got.
Okay. And Rocket, you guys said was the star of the show.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There was a question online that people might want to be careful with bringing their kids because of some kind of animal cruelty that might be.
Yeah, it's animal cruelty is heavily implied and
Mhm.
slightly shown.
That and the demise of the High Evolutionary is a little gory.
Yes.
Mm.
So if you got kids that are under 10, I would really think about it. And anywhere 10 to 12, I would think about the kid as well. You know, that's a 50-50. That's a parental choice. But anyone under 10, I would wait. But that's me.
Okay. And James Gunn directing. Some of your thoughts.
He's good as the other two. He did
I was
this
gonna say, good as the other two and better.
Yeah. I think Marvel made a mistake letting him go. If he can put movies like this out, if you can keep him in house to use again, you know.
On the bright side, if someone needed something to warm their cockles about him being good enough for DC, this movie proves it.
Well, but the thing with that though is he's the idea guy now. He's not really going to make the movies, right?
Oh, he's making.
No, he's
Superman?
directing Superman.
How can you? Wow, give me a break.
And that, my friends, is a tale for another
That's going to
time.
be their downfall. That's
Or
gonna be
not.
DCU's downfall.
That or not. He
Yeah,
said
but he can't direct all of them.
No, of course he can't direct all of them. I'm just saying, this made me feel better about him doing a Superman movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
See this picture right here?
Yes, you know the background to it.
This
You
thing-
know that body isn't real. You know that's a facsimile.
Thank you for. I'm just about to say it, and you cut me off and say it and stuff. Jeez, you
I don't
stole
care.
my
I'm
thun-
the one who
you
said
stole
this
my
is good.
thunder
So I get it.
again. Jeez, unbelievable. The light clip
I
says,
forgot
guys,
who that
this
is.
thing is fake. It's pretty creepy though. Like I saw a video of it, and it looks super duper real.
I know. Who could have sent you that video?
Who is that again? Who's she carrying it? I forgot. Is that
That's
Peter?
Star Lord.
That's Peter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
Star.
remember that scene. I just don't remember. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that's a little non-spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Me and Phil still have to see it.
Yeah, I gotta see.
Oh, I thought you saw it, Phil.
No, I did not see it yet.
Oh, okay.
So we still got to enjoy that piece. What do you guys think? Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy? Leave a comment below. No spoilers, please. No spoilers. No spoilers. All right.
Yeah.
You got something, green shirt guy?
No.
Let's get into the box office for the weekend. Guardians of the Galaxy came in at number 1 with 114 million. It has made about almost 300 million worldwide.
That's wild.
It's good numbers. It's the biggest Guardians opening.
It's gonna do well. I don't know that it's gonna go hit the billion.
It could.
I don't think it will either.
And here's why I say that. This is a movie that I don't think people are gonna see 2, 3, and 4 times. Where some of the other ones you see it twice because you're like, oh, it's so good, I gotta go see it again. And this is good, but it's emotional. So it's what I don't think people are running back to the theater. But what do I know?
Yeah, I don't think it'll hit $1 billion either. It could. I think
it could. It wouldn't shock me if it did.
It'll scrape that 900 mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is excellent. We shouldn't bat an eye at 900 million.
Again,
you know what I mean?
In the meantime, I'm sitting here and going, if Multiverse of Madness can hit 800 something, right? Because that's what it hit, right?
Yeah.
800 something.
Mm-hmm.
If that can hit 800 something, this can hit the billion mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then what do you call it? Didn't hit remotely, and that's a better movie than Multiverse of Madness.
Which one?
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because people were poisoned. I think this movie unpoisons the water for that group of people who live in the poisoned water.
Right, but wouldn't you say that if the water's poisoned and Ant-Man also could be considered a poison pill, even though we all liked it, it's the water's still kind of murky. So this would have to be the reset. But
when
it makes $1 billion.
But I could tell immediately when I got up at Ant-Man. Wait, who was with me for Ant-Man?
Not me.
Not me.
No.
I went to the theater.
Whoever was with me for Ant-Man, we stood up and we're like, oh, I really like the movie. I don't know. And before I even saw the movie, I was crying about how people online who I respect, who I follow on social media, were already ripping it apart, making comparisons to Spy Kids 3, blah blah blah. And I got up from the theater, right?
We're not looking at you, Angel.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Angel. I got up with my friend. We liked it. The kid behind me, it was really excited and was like, oh, the Council of Kangs. And his friend with him was like, more like the Council of Ass. So even in the theater that I'm watching, I was experiencing the direct divide. When I finished this movie, which Tommy was in the theater, friends of mine I played Dragon Ball with were in the theater, other people I knew were in the theater, when the credits rolled, or the final credit rolled, after the second thing, everyone applauded. There was applause. I haven't heard applause for a Marvel movie in the theater since Endgame. So, and every single person I've talked to, even the people who hated Quantumania, have told me they really enjoyed this film. So, and of course, you and I both encountered plenty of people yesterday who said this movie turned them around on Marvel movies, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's very good. I think it could make the $1 billion. I think it certainly doesn't introduce anything that would be divisive. And that's it. That was a whole lot of talk coming out.
It's safe to say that if this movie does really well with that 900 mark, like when Doctor Strange did 900 million, people look down upon it. But on this one, I think if it hits 900 million, people are going to look up upon it. They'll look at it in a good light. I think that could do a lot for the Marvels in November. Like people riding a high, and the Marvels, if that's nice action adventure comedy, that could help that movie a lot. It could reinvigorate the fandom. Number 2, the Super Mario Brothers dropped 50%. They brought in another 18 million. Let's see
everything dropped 50% because everybody went to Guardians this weekend.
Exactly.
Mario's at 1.1 billion. I believe it's in the top 10 of animated films of all time right now. Shout out to Mario. Evil Dead Rise dropped 50%. It made about $5 million, which is pretty good for that movie. Let's see how much Evil Dead.
John Wick.
Still on there, eh? Almost 100 million. They're almost at 100 million, which I would think is a good thing for this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
For them to hit 100 million, because I'm pretty sure this movie only cost about maybe 15-20 to make.
Right.
So that's a big plus for that company. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret made 3.3.
I want to see that movie. I really do.
It dropped 49%. John Wick 4 still kicking.
What's the grand total on John Wick?
Let's check it out. John Wick is at 406 million.
Yeah, when we got over 400. I think we were at 385 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so John Wick universe will continue. Love Again. This is first time it came out this week. Got about 2 million. Dungeons and Dragons still clinging into the top 10. Dropped 63%, but it made about 1.5. Let's see where they're at. They're at 200 million. I think that's pretty good for Dungeons and Dragons. I think they kind of made their money back. I think
they basically, dude, it was like 150 to make it, and they brought in roughly about 150. But it's critically well received. It's really gonna be a headache for all those involved in creating it, because it's like, all right, it was well received, but not financially well received. But people might be expecting a follow-up, but how do we do it and not lose money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. Air came in at number 8, made another 1.3 million. The Covenant made about 1.2, dropping 66%.
Yo, Ant-Man!
Hold on, Sisu is in at number 10 with 1 million. And Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania almost $6,839%.
Well, you gotta look at that too, though. Is look how many theaters it's in. Maybe it was only
people have a change of heart after Guardians and say, "Hey, let me go see Ant-Man."
Is it possible?
I wonder if it played before, we will show Ant-Man before we premiere Guardians.
But still, 800,000, a 6,000% boost in viewership in a week. Regardless of how it happened, it happened.
Well, absolutely. But is it possible that some theaters did a double
feature? Yes, it's very possible. Yeah, none of our
that's
theaters
what I'm
did
thinking.
Because if none of our theaters did it.
It's only 185 theaters. That's it.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Very well. Very well. And it's at 475.
I was gonna say, I was afraid we were never gonna see that number. Now I'm like,
yeah. So shout out to Ant-Man and the Wasp doing it.
Shout out to Ant-Man and the Wasp for giving me my Halloween costume. You'll see it if I can get all the pieces for it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, and it's not what you think it is.
All right. And last, Big George Foreman, we were talking about his grill the other day. We'll give him a little shout out. The Miraculous
Hulk Hogan grill?
Future Heavyweight. Oh, no.
By the way, please look that back up. Hulk Hogan had a competing grill, but the origin story that I read for the George Foreman grill is about the guy who made it, shopped it, and eventually got it to George Foreman.
The article I read, and who knows, it could have just been Hulk Hogan being Hulk Hogan, was that he was sitting at home and got a phone call from his agent. So the person might have gotten the story wrong. Yeah.
He missed out on millions. Manny, the Hobgoblin collector, leaving a like and wishing everyone a great Sunday week. Shout out to you, Manny. We wish you the same thing. Thanks for watching, bro. Thank you very much. All right, that's the box office for this week. What movies did you guys see out there? Leave in the comments. Let us know. Okay, so everybody's favorite part of this Film and Box Office News Sunday, we talk about a movie that we all had to watch. And this week, we had to watch the 2002 film Hero, starring Jet Li.
20 years old.
Donnie Yang, Maggie Cheung, and a couple other guys. So I'm gonna play this. So let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I hadn't watched it. The first time I saw this, I had it on VHS before it kind of got released. Cause I think it got released in America like 2 years after. So I had it like a little bit early, and it was like subtitles and everything. But I don't think I've watched it really like sit down and watch like the whole movie since that VHS last night.
Mm.
So
it gave me a lot of Crouching Tiger, like you said in the private chat, Phil.
yeah,
Like Crouching Tiger stuff.
yeah.
I didn't know Donnie Yang was in it.
I forgot he was in it.
I didn't look at the cast and I was like, oh, it's a young Donnie Yang.
I think unfortunately, I
He
think
looks
like
the same.
Yeah.
Jet Li and Donnie Yen's fight might be like the best fight of the movie, and it happens in the first 15 minutes.
That's what had me worried when I was watching it. I was like,
I don't
are we
know.
watching the best fight in the beginning of the movie?
I think it was the best fight in the movie.
So
Because
basically,
honestly, after that fight, I was the rest of the movie really kind of bored me.
what this movie is a story about the Nameless One, who's played by Jet Li, who is a soldier who went out and took care of some assassins that were trying to murder the Emperor, and he's allowed to get close.
He's not the emperor. He's the king of a specific region.
Right,
who
he's
wants
the
to
king
take
of the
over
land
all
of
the regions.
the land of Ki, the Q.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. And he's out there conquering lands. They want to get all the lands together, and so Jet Li goes out to fight these assassins. And what it comes out to be is that this is all just a huge plot by Jet Li, the Nameless One, to get close enough to the Emperor the king, so that he could kill him. And that's basically what the story is. And, he's sitting there the whole movie is him sitting and telling a story to the king of how he defeated these people. And it's pretty cool when they're like, oh, you defeated this person. You get this much gold, this much this much that, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, you defeated this person. You get to move up 10 steps. You get this much gold, this much that. But Jet Li didn't, the Nameless One. Manny says, my daughter's sick, so could watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Oh, I hope she gets better. I hope she feels better.
Mm-hmm. He Kaiser Soze's him.
Yes. And so the first person he fights is the Donnie Yen character. And like we said, it's probably the best fight in the
Falling
movie.
Sky? Was his name?
Sky.
Or just
It was
Sky,
Sky.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just Sky. Which is a cool fight scene. You got to check that out. And then he has to go fight two other people.
Like half of it happens just like in their mind, like that part.
Yes,
was
yes, they
That was
fought
kinda
the whole fight in their mind.
Like that was a really cool part.
Because the musician guy who plays the music during the whole thing,
Yes.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm out of here. And then that was a weird part too, because they were in the middle of a fight. Then all of a sudden they're just like standing still and they're like, sir, can you please continue the music?
Right.
And then he plays the music and they fight in their mind. And then his string breaks and that breaks them out of the dream. And then they fight. So he was successful in that. And then the next people he has to fight are Broken Sword.
Yep.
And
that's it. Flying Snow.
Flying Snow. So he said the king is a very smart king. And he's asking him how he did all these things. And he's like, your sword is faster than theirs? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to
them both at the
infiltrate.
same time.
Yeah, I had to infiltrate, be one of them, and do it in a sneaky way. But it comes to find out that he's actually telling the king a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He's making up this story as he's telling them. But the king is, he's like, you're lying to me. And this is probably... Then the king tells his version of what he thinks happened. And that was a little weird for me. And then finally they tell you the real version of what happened. In the first version, Broken Sword was cheating on Flying Snow, and that's why they got into an argument. In the
Other way around. She was cheating on him. He got jealous Love the one.
Who
you're
is she
with the
cheating
woman
on
in the
him with?
room with Sky.
Yeah.
Really? I missed that part.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
why.
Ah.
That's why he brings the top of the sword or whatever and leaves it there, and then she opens it and
Oh.
it starts crying because she knows he's dead. And I remember he says the thing about he said that I'm only upset that I only one person I loved or something like that, but he doesn't say who. He just kind of hints at it, and she won't say anything and kind of has her head turned, and then Broken Sword figures it out. At least in that version.
Yeah, and that happens
And
to me.
then again,
alive.
turns around, love the one you're with, and she watches,
Yeah,
and then she kills him.
yeah. And then the second version. Remind me of the second version.
No, wait a second. Okay. No, I was convinced that Sword had sex with Moon and that pissed off Snow. That is what I
He
thought
did that.
happened.
He did that in retaliation.
In
That
retaliation.
was what- you know what?
Yeah.
This is what happened. This is what happens when I'm watching a movie and I'm getting a little out of it. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, he's mad because he thinks that, or the story is that she had cheated on him, so he had sex with Moon right there, knowing that
She
Snow
was
is
watching.
Yeah.
and then she kills him as a result.
By the way, all this for that not to be the true story
Not to
anyway.
be the
Right.
true story.
Yeah.
And this version has my favorite fight of the whole movie, the one where the two women are fighting in the yellow leaves.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
in the
that was
leaves.
just-
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
That
gorgeous.
is a good fight, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then
What's
when
the
she finally kills her, all the leaves turn red. I was like, this is gorgeous
Yes.
to look at.
What was the second story?
Don't remember. Honestly.
That was the second story. That was the.
No. The
Yeah,
second
that
story was the king, and he said you guys plotted together to kill
Yeah.
me. So then the nameless one starts saying a story, but it's a little different this time.
Well,
Oh yeah,
does
Broken
know-
Sword and it's like
That
she
Sword and
died
Snow
and they were gonna
do-
fight for her honor or something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
they
but
had to
they're-
fight on the water.
Yeah.
right.
That was
but that's still kind of a fake thing, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the
Yeah.
whole thing is he works it out where he's like, Sword is the one that tells him, the nameless one, like, no, I think this ruler is the guy who's going to unify our land, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And convinces him that he's got to go see him, right? And then Sword has to fight with Snow. And of course, because he loves her, he's not really retaliating. And then she accidentally kills him.
Mhm.
And that is real.
She doesn't accidentally kill. Well, he lets.
They
her
make an
kill him.
agreement.
He lets her kill him
Oh,
because remember, he said, "I can't let you kill the king. I'm gonna try to stop you." So
Okay, again, this is a little-
clip. After the whole thing happens,
and she kills herself.
after Nameless One does not kill the king, remember they plotted all together to do this. They tried to do it 3 years earlier, but Broken Sword, something stopped him from killing the king. And he writes the 2 words that makes Nameless One realize that, and then she's upset at the end. She's like, "What did you say to him?" And he's like, "I just said 2 words, our land, blah blah." So he's like, "What can I do to make you know that I love you?" And she's like, she pulls the sword out. She's like, "You got to fight." So they start fighting, and when they go toward each other with the sword, you'll notice that Broken Sword just goes like that, and he flings his sword.
Yes,
He puts it down, and she kills him.
right. But look, I feel that is a very interpretive dance battle that we're watching. I'm taking it as I could never hurt you. I love you. This is my proof. And she's just like, no, I told you to fight. And like, oh, I killed you. And then what does she do? She kills herself. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Well,
Kills
she only
herself
killed
behind
herself
them, like together,
afterwards,
right?
after she killed
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
now I got to tell you, Phil said earlier in the chat, this is really very art house cinema. And it truly is, because like
It really
that
is.
whole battle there, I like. I'm like, I mean, did you have to kill him? Couldn't you just listen to the man you're in love with? Whatever. I mean, and it looked great, but you know.
One of my favorite parts is when the nameless one, to convince them that he's so good. Remember, they throw like stuff in the air, and he throws,
in
like,
the
a
library.
wood stick,
Yes.
yeah, and he slices the wood stick in half while all those things are going
Yeah, all
down
those
because he wants to let them know that he can stab them without hitting a vital organ.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that they live, so it looks believable. And thought that
I
was
just
cool.
love visually about this movie how every major story or every major fight and scene is monochromatic.
Yeah, and there's a
Yeah,
primary
It's just
color.
it's really
Like
cool.
the room with the stuff coming down, the primary color is blue. Right?
Yeah.
And like, and then
the
you have
flashback-
red one where they're doing the
gray.
calligraphy.
And the green
calligraphy's all
one
red.
when they flash back when they're going to
Yeah.
get the king. That was pretty cool too. Yeah, very dope.
And I forgot. It was funny because I mean I've seen this movie, and I own it on UMD, which is that's when you know you love it because you can only watch it on a PSP screen about this big. But the Donnie Yen, what's his name? In that fight, I was like, oh right, they're gonna be flying around in this because when Jet Li jumps and kind of flies backwards, I was like, oh right, I forgot.
I saw a little part where I forget who he's fighting. I think he's fighting Sky. But he goes like this and he puts his foot and then you see like a little block coming out. I was like, you missed that part. You should have zoomed in on him and got that out of there. This scene was crazy when they're firing the arrows.
At the calligraphy school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
They
like
go
even the way
outside.
they like fired the arrows where they got on their back with their feet, like
Yeah.
Can you imagine when they're filming? All right, we just need you to just do this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so many arrows.
Well, how
Many
about-
arrows.
How about too when the just before the whatever we're calling him, not the emperor, but the king says to him, "I know you're lying." All of the candles go kind of do this towards him, like he's breathing it in and going, and he can control the elements there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of crazy because everything goes silent and you just see the flames all do this. Right there, that one.
Yeah, that was a crazy scene. He threw his sword at him. He's like, all right, I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to stare at this thing. And meanwhile, all the priests and everything rush up. That was creepy.
That's
when
the
priests
symbol
were
for
like-
sword. That's the symbol for sword that he like was
Right.
doing.
Remember when they were all chanting, they were like, permission to execute. Permission to execute. I was like, oh, it's creepy. They were like, do not let him live. Do not let him live. They're all saying it at the same time. I was like, yo, that's crazy. I didn't like the fact that they didn't show him with the arrows getting hit by the arrows. They only showed
Now,
like a
did you-
shadow outline.
Did you watch it with subtitles or did somebody
No.
watch it with a dubbed version?
I watched it with subtitles.
It was
I watched it
dope.
with subtitles, so
Mine was
I'm
dubbed.
hearing. What's that? Yours was dubbed.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh, look
wondering.
at that. Two did subtitles.
That's why, yeah. I'm wondering how your experience was different as far as that goes, because I'm getting the full Chinese, and it was kind of interesting to listen to them talk that way. I mean, I don't speak Chinese, but just their inflections are different.
I kind of want to see it in the subtitle, but it's just like one of those movies that you do things while you're watching it.
Yeah, well, that's it, right?
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this was a pretty cool movie. I enjoyed it very much. From the producer of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
And how is Tarantino involved? Because at the beginning it says
He's a
he
producer.
presents.
I think he
Oh,
helped get it
okay.
over
Yeah.
to America. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's be honest.
That's the
Like
scene that I love.
this in the house. What is it? House of Flying Daggers?
Yep.
I didn't love
Like-
that one.
I
It
like
doesn't
that
matter.
one.
My point
Right.
being, these two, Hero and that movie, would not have made it here had it not been for the success of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I would, and just personally, I think this one's better than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But
Really?
this is
See,
my,
I
of those
like
three,
Crouching
this is my
Tiger
favorite.
more because it's got like a nice detective story going on in it, and it saves all the heavy-handed philosophy for the end. This one is like, let me tell you a tale that may or may not be true with the philosophy lessons interwoven. And I'm I'm trying to enjoy a movie. Why are you guys giving me all?
I might like Crouching Tiger better than this, just because the girl fight is better than Donnie Yen's fight.
Oh my God! But they were all the weapons she almost
that was the better of the fight.
That scene. That was the moment in time I fell in love with Michelle Yeoh. Right there.
You know what I was waiting for? I was waiting for all of them to show up and help him fight the king.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, he didn't kill any of them. Well, they died afterwards. But I was waiting for them to all show up like, okay, now let's get it on. You know what I mean? But didn't go that way. But yeah. All right. So that's Hero.
House of Flying Daggers?
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Okay. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The bamboo scene in that one I love, but the rest of the movie,
All right. So that's Hero, starring Jet Li, Donnie Yang, Maggie Cheung. Good movie. Go check it out. We recommend it. It's one of those Sunday kickback, do your laundry, fold your laundry, watch movies.
If you're watching
oh my God, and I would say no. I would be like,
if you're watching it dubbed, if
If
you're watching it dubbed, if you're watching it,
if you're not, read the subtitles that more accurately explain what's going on.
Yeah, I kind of like the new dubbing now. Like you see on Netflix, the new kind of dubbing where they make the English fit how they speak. Do you know what I'm saying? If you watch the new dubbing on new shows, like new shows that come from overseas,
I noticed that when I was watching Dark.
Yeah, they'll make the English fit to the length they speak, so it kind of looks more crisp.
Yeah,
but let me tell you, I still
does it change what they're saying.
Yes, it does, right?
It does a little bit, yeah.
And which is annoying because sometimes it's never bad enough to affect the plot, but it is bad enough to affect your interpretation of the scene.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, because I didn't know. I gotta say, Dark fooled me in the beginning, and I thought like, oh, maybe my audio is a little out of sync. And then I'm like, maybe this isn't from this country. Let me look this show up. And I'm like, it's from this country.
All right. That's our movie of the week. Go check it out. All right.
It's worth checking out. It's a good one.
Definitely.
What's next week? Do we decide yet?
No. What are we going to do next week?
I had a list somewhere that I can't find.
Where's the one that we were from when we were talking the other day? Maybe we can find the one.
Council, as we're waiting for them to pull up a list, we want to make sure that we let you know the movie so that you can possibly watch it this week as well and join us in the comments. What do we have?
We talked about doing the list. I have is the original two Conans, but how do we want to do Conan right off of Conan? They Live, Sucker Punch.
I like They Live.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. And that's
like
what's it, like a 12-minute fight scene or whatever at one point?
Classic. What do you say, Phil?
Sucker
right.
Punch and
They
300
Live.
for the other two.
Cliff, They Live.
They
Good.
Live. Fine.
All right, Council. So you got your movie homework
They Live.
for next week. Make sure you go watch They Live.
Yep.
It's with Rowdy Piper.
The
Watch it this
Deceased?
week, and you can join us in the comments next Sunday. So
You can watch John Carpenter's They.
go ahead.
What
Go ahead. Speak loud.
You
Go
can
ahead.
watch John Carpenter's They Live free on Tubi.
On
There you go.
Tubi.
Doobie.
I might purchase this rental though. I want to see it in good, crisp everything. All right, so that's our show for today. Remember, we do this every Sunday night at 5 p.m. We go over the film and box office news, and then we talk about a movie that we've all watched. Next week, it will be They Live. Make sure you do your movie homework. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. to discuss all the new keys and hot comics of the week so that you can know better what to pick up on New Comic Book Day this coming Wednesday. Also,
And we got
remember,
something special.
And we have a special guest.
we do have a special guest.
We won't say who it is, though. You got to tune in.
All right,
Oh.
tune in. If you're into horror, comics and stuff like
You
that,
like comics?
comics, you gotta tune in. We got a special guest tomorrow. We're really, really excited to talk about it. If you watched the last week's show, you see a book and we did some pointing. You might be able to figure it out. So tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for that. Also, we have tons of videos on the channel. We're coming up on New Comic Book Day, episode number 48, moving toward that 50. We got a lot of reviews on there. And we have our 500 subscribers giveaway contest that is currently going on. So what happens is you have to go down to the playlist, find the 500 subscribers video, subscribe to the channel, comment on that video, like that video, and you will be entered into the contest to win one of 3 prizes. One prize is Heroes in Crisis set 1 through 9. Shout out to any comic and toy for giving us for a giveaway. The second prize is a character. It's a headshot, right? Head design. Sketch by Green Shirt Guy, aka Ronaldo. He does phenomenal work. And then our number one prize is a CGC 9.8, which we will be picking in the upcoming weeks. So make sure you're entered and everything. And just to let you know, you have to comment on the full video. Some of you have commented on the reel, and that does not count toward the contest. You have to comment on the full video. And some of you have done that and made the correction, and shout out to you. All right, and then shout out. We went to AlternaCon 2 yesterday. We'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. That was a great thing. I got a lot of great footage. It's gonna take me about a week or so to edit that, and it'll be really, really good stuff. All right. So for myself, for Cliff, for Phil, for Green Shirt Guy, aka Ronaldo, we love you. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.